So if we're wanting to work on a topic of changing from percents to fractions, if we start with a simple example of like 50%, the first step would be to write the percent over 100. So this would be like 50 over 100. And then we want to reduce that fraction to get it down to a simple fraction. So if we have a 0 on top and bottom, we can cancel those out to reduce it down to 5 over 10. And then both 5 and 10 have a factor of 5, so we can divide out a 5 on the top and on the bottom to reduce it down to 1 over 2. So 50% is the same thing as the fraction of 1/2. But if we wanted to do a harder example, like for example, if we wanted to take 33 and 1/3%, and we want to say, how can we write that as a fraction? Well, we can start the same way we did in the last one and write it as over 100, write the number over 100. So 33 and 1/3. If we write that over 100, now we want to reduce this fraction. Well, how can we reduce 33 and 1/3 over 100? When we have a fraction within a fraction, that's called a complex fraction. So what we need to do is use the rule of, if we have written in the form of A over B over C over D, so a fraction on the top and a fraction on the bottom, we flip the bottom fraction and then multiply. So we can write that as A over B times D over C. So using that idea, our first step in this problem is to write the numerator and the denominator as a single fraction. So with a mixed number, what we do is we take the denominator of the fraction, multiply it by the whole number, and then add the numerator. So 3 times 33, 3 times 33 makes 99, and then plus 1 makes 100. So that would be 100 on the top over, and the denominator stays the same, over 3. So we wrote 33 and 1/3 we wrote as 100 over 3. And then the denominator we can write, because it's just a single number, we can write it as a fraction by writing it over 1. So that would be 100 over 1. Now that we've written it as a fraction on the top and a fraction on the bottom, we can use our complex fraction rule to leave the top fraction the same, but flip the bottom fraction and multiply. So that makes 100 over 3 times 1 over 100. So now we can multiply straight across to make 100 times 1 is 100 and 3 times 100 is 300 and reduce. Or because we have a common factor on top and bottom, we can cancel out these hundreds and just reduces a little bit quicker with leaving it as 1/3. So 33 and 1/3% is a fraction of 1/3. Okay, so I hope this concept made sense. If you would like to see any other similar types of problems, feel free to leave those down in the comments, and I will do my best to make a video for you. Thanks for watching, and happy studies.